Oh, God.
There we go, folks. For the folks that have just joined us on board as well, please remain seated at all times, folks, until the bus comes to complete and utter standstill. So, just here now, on the right-hand side, you're going to get to see this fantastic building with the clock tower here, this beautiful sandstone-coloured building, built in 1895, and it was known as the North British Hotel when it was first built. It's built here purposely for the time of steam locomotive travel from Scotland's capital, Edinburgh, right the way through to England's capital down in London. Now the hotel itself, beautiful hotel, closed its doors back in 1988 for 3 years because Roccaforte actually bought the North British Hotel, and they did a 25 of top 5-star hotels here in the city today. Clock tower itself, you will notice, is 3 minutes fast, and this has been tradition since 1895. And the reason for that, it was so that the people that were wealthy enough that could stay here were given an extra 3 minutes to get down onto the platform. Only time of year that it is correct is on the 31st of December as we go into the Hogmanay celebrations here, just for that one day it's put back to the correct time, and then on the 1st of January it is set 3 minutes fast again. Now when it reopened its doors in 1991 after the overhaul, the £25 million overhaul, it was renamed the Balmoral Hotel, and it was Sir Sean Connery that was the gentleman that did the unveiling on the building. Now, very famous guest stayed there back in 2007, and you'll probably all have heard of her name, irrespective of where you come from in the world. And quite bizarre that she stayed here for 2 weeks, because she actually lives here in Edinburgh, and she's a huge member of the Edinburgh community even today. And it was none other than Jo Rowling, J.K. Rowling. She checked in for 2 weeks, where she completed the final chapter of the Deathly Hallows, the final instalment in the Harry Potter series of books. Now, if you wish, you can actually stay in room number 552 where Jo Rowling stayed, because the hotel have capitalised on it, and it is now called the J.K. Rowling Suite, and it'll cost you a mere £1,475 per night, and that doesn't include the breakfast. I think Roccaforte got a bit of cheek. Now, in that room itself, you've actually got a couple of great attractions. You've actually got the writing desk that Jo Rowling sat at to complete that final chapter, and also a bust of the god Hermes, who was the god of travel. She actually graffitied over the statue, saying that her work with Harry was now complete, and then later tweeted online with a fit of conscience, "It's wrong to deface other people's property. Hindsight is a marvellous thing." Also, if you are going to book that room, number 552, folks, make sure you book it 2 years in advance, because it has a huge waiting list to get in there. They must be coining it in the Balmoral Hotel. Beautiful monument just here where the band is playing today, the brass band for the up-and-coming Memorial Day on Sunday. This is our Armistice Sunday this week. It is indeed. Memorial just here on the left-hand side. This is to
got a rucksack.
Sir Walter Scott. Sir Walter Scott was actually a judge here in Edinburgh in the late 1700s, early 1800s. Also, he used to write books. Now, this was frowned upon because of his trade as being a judge. It was frowned that he was writing stories, so he actually used to have the books published under the name of Waverley. And this is where today we get the name Waverley train station and Waverley Bridge from. And that all comes from the fact that he used a Waverley fountain pen to actually write the books. Now, this monument is the tallest monument in the world to a writer. It is 200 feet and 6 inches high. It has 287 steps to the top, and you can climb to 175 feet to the top viewing platform there. It also has a few similarities with a children's TV series from the 1970s, Thunderbirds. This building itself, if you look at it, it looks like Thunderbird 3. Also, a few other similarities to this was that Scott Tracy was the co-pilot of Thunderbird 3, and that's dedicated to Sir Walter Scott. Also, 287 steps to the top, and Thunderbird 3 was 287 steps long. Now, just coming up very shortly, just after the Apple building, just here on the left-hand side, you're going to get to see the first of our Robert and John Adam buildings. This dates from 1788. It is our national archive here of births, deaths and marriage. and it was the first national repository of its type in the British Isles. Absolute genealogy. Anybody on board that thinks they may have any Scottish ancestry, this is the place to go to. Also going to get to see this beautiful statue in front of it, here on the left-hand side, the first of 3 of John Steele's statues. This is of Arthur Wellesley, the very famous Irishman, who was also better known as the Iron Duke or the Duke of Wellington, synonymous with the 1815 Napoleonic Wars, in particular the Battle of Waterloo. Ladies, are you from the United States of America? You are indeed, right, okay. In that building there, you will actually find the birth certificate to none other than Mary Ann MacLeod. Who is Mary Ann MacLeod? I've put you on the spot, haven't I? It's Donald Trump's mother. She was actually born on the Isle of Lewis, so that is the centre of her birth registration. Just there now on the right-hand side is Carlton Cemetery, and also for the folks from the United States of America, one of the oldest statues of Abraham Lincoln outside of the US, paid for by the people of the States for the Scotsmen that actually took part in the Civil War, the American Civil War of 1861 to 1865. Just there now on the right-hand side, one of my favourite buildings here in Edinburgh. This is St Andrew's House, built in 1938 in the Art Deco style. It was originally built as the forerunner for the Scottish government, the Scottish executive. Still used today by the Scottish Parliament as extra office space. Beautiful vistas in front of us there of Arthur's Seat and the Crags, which stand in the Park of Holyrood, and spectacular natural geological features from 350 million years ago, volcanic eruption. Just here now on the left-hand side, the old Royal Edinburgh High School closed its doors in 1968 and was renamed New Parliament House. And coming up just in front of us to the right-hand side, the memorial to Robert Burns, or Rabbie Burns, and the statue used to stand right in the centre. But the building fell into disrepair, so the statue now stands in the National Portrait Gallery. Rabbie Burns dies in 1796, and he is the national bard and poet of Scotland, otherwise known as Rabbie Burns. And on the 25th of January, we celebrate every year Burns Night. And whenever there's a group of Scots gathered together here, particularly in Scotland, it's a great time of celebration. Just another excuse to drink copious amounts of whiskey and indulge in our traditional foods of haggis, neeps and tatties, like the Scots need an excuse to drink whiskey. And on the 25th of January, the haggis is normally piped into the room, where somebody will address the haggis by saying, "F.E.A.R. on his sonsie face, great chieftain of the pudding race, a boon am all, your attack your place," which basically translated into English means "hello sausage." Just there on the left-hand side, beautiful row of houses, William Henry Playfair. These are unique because William Henry Playfair has built a lot of the larger, monumental, grander buildings right across the city here, and we're going to get to see a few of those a little bit later on. Now, these are also unique in price, folks, because a little 3-bedroom apartment in one of these buildings here on the left-hand side will set you back a mere £2.5 million. But it does have that lovely little label of William Henry Playfair attached. Just on the other side of the traffic lights in front of us is London Road. So the significance with this area was the days of the stagecoaching industry in the 1800s.